I could pull a better podcast out of my head. Hey, kids, welcome to the Tempest Universe.
2022 is upon us, and the views expressed on this podcast are that of the host, and not of the citizens of Wuhan. Alien abductions are down and government meddling is on the rise. The UFO talk is explicit, so let's get the mind probe started.
This is the Tempest Universe, man. Hold on to your ass. You're in for a hell of a ride.
Happy Humping Probe Day, everyone. This is Wednesday, middle of the week, the Wednesday before New Year's. And wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get on, but here I am. I made it. The first thing, you don't usually get this with UFO podcasts, but the first thing I want to open up with is who the hell thought it was a good idea to have like these, fire whiskeys, cinnamon fireball whiskeys and stuff like that. It doesn't taste really good. It feels like you're not getting the best of either world, whiskey or hot cinnamon. I don't know. I just had to put that out there because it tastes terrible to me. That's what I'm having today. Right now, at this moment, that's what's going down the gullet. And I'm so dissatisfied. Really, it's just not right. But, I guess if that's all you got, right? And not that that's all I got, let's be honest about it. Come on. But still, that's my review. Don't ever send me any of these hot cinnamon fireball whiskey things. They're just disgusting to me. Anyway, welcome to the show. I was thumbing through a bunch of articles today, and there is a significant amount of articles that are talking about the UFO 2021 year in review, where they're going over all kind of things. Sadly enough, most of the review has to do with the government. Most of the review is about that shitty-ass report they gave us at the end of June and everything that's happened since then, which has all been literally a bunch of shit. There's nothing good in there. I don't understand why this is such a big deal. Okay, by the way, the background music today will be supplied by the one and only Bugs the UFO Hunter. So please enjoy. But Monday's episode, I was able to get him sequestered into one of the rooms so that we wouldn't hear. Yesterday he was loud as hell. Like I thought for sure the floor was trembling from how loud he was being. It was just too much. I had to put him away. But today, he snuck up here and, what can I do? I can't just pick him up and do a, 50-yard hurdle or something like that, trying to get him somewhere where we can control the background sound. But today we got to deal with it. It's the last episode of the year, so why not? For fuck's sake, let's just do it. But anyway, back to these 2021 UFO reviews. I don't understand. I mean, the government thing is great, fantastic. If you've listened to people in ufology for a very long time, especially all the big shit talkers, you know that they've told us this for decades now, that it would be a slow churning process to get to UFOs, aka UAPs, and then the eventual acknowledgement that they could be from somewhere else. And then further down the line from that, we get aliens. And then right after that, we get the threat, which they're working on the threat now ahead of time. So I guess they're trying to get people prepared for that. And, that timeline, a lot of different people kind of give you that timeline, not probably in that same order, because we know that there's quite a few of the famous talking heads in ufology that like to get people to think that this is all going to be about war and money when it comes to the alien disclosure situation. But I mean, we got time to tell, right? And unfortunately, some of us don't got that much time. I just put it out there just like that. But we've got 4 articles to talk about. One of them is a pretty sad article because this individual really contributed to where we are right now. So there you go. But we're going to start out with some music first, and then we'll jump into the articles. And then we'll see. I'm thinking at the end of the podcast, we may just open up the lines. Since this is a live episode, we might just open this up and see if any of the Asgardians or anyone else that's listening live wants to call in and share what their favorite story of 2021 is, which none of the Asgardians, no one's going to call because they don't have any favorite stories. They give no Fs. I almost said the F word. See, I'm getting better.
Sing for me sweet lullabies. Bright nights, an everlasting darksome days. Bright nights, and wearing the stain you made of me. And I wait, and I wait, and I wait, and I wait for the bright nights to lead my way through the maze.
You know, there were a lot of great space stories in 2021. No doubt about that, right? They were fantastical. I'm just gonna make up curse words. To the point where like fan diggly doodly, you put that on the back of your mind as put a little tick on that for 2021, the review. And this was by far my favorite space story right here.
Weightlessness. Oh, Jesus.
Carmeline.
No description can equal this. Weightlessness.
This is nuts.
Oh, my God.
This is
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm telling you.
holy.
Oh, my goodness me. Oh, wow. I can't believe this.
Yeah, talking about, orbital, suborbital, and all that good stuff, and silver phalluses, we had an update from the FAA. So if you don't know, the Federal Aviation Administration has been mulling over all these comments that it opened up to the public. Let's all talk about SpaceX. Let's see if the silver phallus really needs to ride down in Boca Chica. For some reason, these are environmental folks have I don't know, they've got nothing fucking better to do. Damn it, that's the F word. They literally have nothing better to do than to trace and follow and harass SpaceX to keep them from going to space. Listen, environmental people, the planet is screwed. We need someplace to go to because apparently you guys did not put up a good fight when you needed to. So now we're screwed. We need to leave the planet eventually because you guys did not take care of it like you say you want to. And now it's time to go. Now, if you don't have a phallus to jump on, you're not going to make it. So let's just put it that way. So you guys, shut the hell up. 18,000 comments were submitted to the FAA. And they literally are going through the comments. Like, really? There isn't enough money in the FAA to pay a whole freaking department of people to read 18,000 comments. Like, who cares about the comments? Nobody cares. The reason why you have a government is because it's supposed to do what's right for the people, not let the people do stupid stuff. But that's what's happening. Like, literally, you can take this area of Boca Chica, freaking build goddamn walls around it. Shit, that money that is not being spent to build a wall down on the southern border, get some of that wall. Build it around Boca Chica. That way, nothing spills over. Nothing goes over the wall. We're not harming anything on the other side, the wildlife refuge. Just build a big-ass wall and let's get on with it. We've been waiting for so long. It sounds like a damn song. So they're going through these 18,000 comments because no one gives any shits about it, except for them because they made it public. We want you to comment. Now we're going to pay someone overtime to sit around for 5 freaking months to read these shits. I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is. So it turns out that they, what they believe is that the super phallus, because now it's, now it's the full phallus. So we're just going to call it the super phallus. Will be taking off sometime in March. For the love of Pete, really. That's just disgusting, FAA. They believe that they'll get through all 18,000 of the comments by the end of February, and we'll be able to launch this Starship Super Heavy sometime in March. That's what they're saying. I mean, come on. Something else is going to come up, I'm sure. There's going to be more nonsense. Now, the plan is still, hasn't really changed. The plan is that when this thing takes off, it basically is going to dump the booster, I believe, somewhere off the Gulf of Mexico. And then the actual Starship is going to make one trip around the planet and then get dumped somewhere around the Isle of Kauai down in the Pacific. So, okay, the plan is there. It's been the same plan for freaking months now. But thanks to the environmentalists, who probably really are probably the biggest offenders and the ones that pollute the world the most, I'm sure. Come on, cut the shit already. So we'll see. When the FAA gives that green light, according to Elon Musk, what he said actually today is that they'll be ready to go. As a matter of fact, I believe down in Boca Chica, there was an actual test of the booster, and I saw that somewhere on YouTube. But if you want to see and stay abreast of the happenings down in Boca Chica, you can just go to YouTube. People are always carrying those things live, especially the static fire test of the rockets and the engines. It's fantastic to watch, honestly. It only lasts a few seconds, but that's a terrifying few seconds when you see all those engines light up at the same time. There's more about this situation in the article. It gives you a little bit more about why, the FAA needs so much damn time to read. I don't believe anybody has that time to read so much. I don't understand. I think it's another tactic, really. It's another tactic. And I think they're going to end up combining the stuff that they're doing in Florida, all the environmental nonsense over there, over the Boyds. I mean, come on. How many of them people don't run over them birds or accidentally shoot them? That's just the way it goes, man. But I'm sure they're going to combine the two efforts to put together a united front against SpaceX. And it might not even take off in March. We could probably see like a June takeoff, the way the FAA is taking to the environment. Softies.
this asshole.
Former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid has passed away. Today, it happened. It's weird, too, because I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I made a comment about Harry Reid having a deathbed confession. Would he have cool, I had to think about this today. Would he have cool things to confess about when it came to UFO UAPs? For damn sure. I really think that... and maybe he did. Maybe he handed all his paperwork to someone that he trusted about all he knew regarding the UFO situation and why he was so adamant about the people needing to know. So Harry Reid, he passed away today, and really, the article that I looked at, there was quite a few. There's some that really talked about his time in government. And then there was one like the one I have in the link in the description that talk about how UFO enthusiasts lose a longtime champion in the topic of UFOs. And really, if you think about it, a lot of it was in secret, right? Because it was Harry Reid who got the millions upon millions of dollars to the Department of Defense to create ATIP, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, which we know, because of what has transpired over the last 3+ years, that it was ATIP that got a lot of the airtime, thanks to Tom DeLonge and our buddy Elizondo and To the Stars Academy. It was the information that came out of there, those videos. But in a roundabout way, we can thank Harry Reid for that as well, because it was Harry Reid who met with Deuce Bigalow, the space gigolo, Bob Bigelow from Bigelow Aerospace, and George Knapp back in the day. And a lot of this ATIP situation, it flowered during that time, just beautifully. It just flowered. For us to, in 2021, try to dissect it to figure out what the hell it all means. The one thing we got to say about Harry Reid is that though, in the beginning he may not have been public about it, towards the end, especially this year, he was on it. He was on it. He was doing interviews, being part of the commentary when it came to the government's involvement. And he said a few times in articles that the government should be held accountable for sharing what it knows with the people. And maybe it was him that put the little fly in the ear of Marco Rubio and Gillibrand and all those guys into ensuring that the verbiage was clear, that we're looking for transparency. Will it go anywhere? When your main champion has passed, there's a hole there. There is a big gap. And, at this point, while I see the efforts from folks in government trying to pass, bills, put stuff into law, start some groups and stuff like that to research and analyze and do whatever the hell it is, point the finger towards Russia and China, it almost feels like we're not going to get that gap filled. Sadly enough, I think that gap, that push from Harry Reid is going to be missing in such a large way. We also can thank other people in government for, picking up the mantle of getting the UFO story out there, like John Podesta. I mean, for fuck's sake, he couldn't even get a password that was not password, the word, so that the Russians could not hack his email and let us know that him and Tom DeLonge were chatting about UFOs. So we can thank him too. But again, that was a precursor to the Stars Academy. And all the publicity that came out of that. Because, hey, and where is John Podesta these days? They even talk about UFOs anymore? For fuck's sake. But anyway, we can only admire what he did. Because, at the end of the day, you blue-collar folks that make, maybe like $30,000 to $70,000, $80,000 a year, there is no way that you're going to solve this on your own. That's the way it's been for decades. And I think it takes someone with the stature in government like Harry Reid to be able to divert millions of your tax dollars into a secret program for us to finally kind of get some traction in government. So we can thank him for that. So I'm sure he'll be missed by his families and a lot of folks in government. But hopefully someone out there will be able to carry his legacy on in trying to find the truth, disclosure, and transparency when it comes to UFOs. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We can say just what happened in the last month or so that there may be a few people looking to carry that legacy and take it on and move it forward. But for fuck's sake, government, geez, Congress, it's easy to turn people away or intimidate or pay them off in one way or another to shut the hell up. But that's the way it goes. We'll see what happens next year. Check this out. In Alberta, Canada, a suspicious UFO scared the bejeebies out of a dog walker. So, why was this UFO so suspicious? I mean, come on, you see that stuff all the damn time. Well, apparently this one creeped out this guy because on December the 8th, He was out there in Alberta walking this dog, and then he was startled by what he saw in the sky. It was an oval-shaped UFO flying across a clear blue sky. Now, could you have a rogue cloud that's just doing its own thing? Is that possible? I don't see why not, right? So, of course, this came through Reddit. So it's Reddit user Angry Pirate 666. I mean, come on. What are you afraid of? How can you be frightened by a UFO when your handle on Reddit ends in 666? We should be afraid of you. That UFO should be afraid of you. He posted this on Reddit. And, the worst thing you can do, and I hate to say this, when you post it on Reddit, I mean, you need to be ready. You might as well do this. Get your picture ready. You pull up Reddit or whatever. Get your picture ready. You grab yourself some Vaseline and apply it appropriately. Don't do too much, but just enough so it doesn't hurt. And then you submit your Reddit photo. Just turn around and wait for it. Because it's coming. It really is. People on Reddit will tear your stuff apart in the worst way. Like, I would not recommend anyone that has a UFO picture or 2 or 3 to post it on Reddit. You're going to get your ass chewed out. Post it on, New Fork. Maybe even try to send it to MUFON. But for fuck's sake, please don't go to Reddit. Just avoid it altogether. There's some hardcore people on there. And which this person here, he got his butt handed to him by a lot of folks. But, it is what it is. If that's where you hang out, good luck with that. Anyway, he says that he spotted this in the sky. And he says officially it looked like it's oval, but it made very slow movement across the sky. So he watched it. He watched it while he was walking his dog. So he has no idea if the dog did his business or not. But he spotted this and he was so in tune with it. This happened about 8 o'clock in the morning. So if you guys live in the area of Alberta and you have pictures of the sky and there's one oval UFO looking thing, guess what? You and Sir Alberta here, Mr. Angry Pirate 666, you guys saw the same UFO, which, it's very possible that someone else could have seen it in Alberta and they could have posted it somewhere else, someplace a little bit less probing. Another good thing is that he took this picture, but then he says that later on, about 1 p.m., the UFO appeared again. But this time it looked almost square, and it was slowly moving away from him in the sky. Now, you probably think, what the hell is he talking about? What is going on? What's wrong with him? Was he, touking on something while he was out there walking the dog? Come on, there's got to be something going on. Well, the funny thing is that he has pictures of both time frames. Early in the morning and just after midday, about 1 o'clock-ish, when this UFO was up in the sky. Now, there's no explanation. Like I said, it was a slow-moving UFO, according to him. If you look at the pictures, there's one picture that looks pretty solid as a UFO, but then there's another picture. It looks like a cloud. It looks like a rogue cloud trying to make his way across Canada to join up some other clouds in Alaska, I guess. I don't fucking know. But many people were, out there saying things like on Reddit, like saying, definitely not a waste of time. Yeah. Another one said, it's a plane, my friend. It's a plane. And then they just kept on and on. I mean, you'd have to look at the pictures to really come up to a conclusion of what you see. Like I said, one picture looks great. The other is like, geez, really? Is that what we're doing now? Posting this? Clouds? I don't know. The link is in the description if you want to check it out. But, the thing is that, kind of like I said on Monday, he stopped and he took pictures. That really is what matters, right? Because you never know when one of these pictures will be definitive proof of something that's going down. You just got to take the pics and see what happens. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who think they're professional ufologists. They got the degree from the toilet, and They will shit on your photos every way possible because only they take great photos of balloons. So you got to be careful. Okay, don't be dismayed if someone gives you a good probing. Like I said, throw on the Vaseline and, keep it moving. We got one more article, and then we'll see about opening up the lines there for call-ins and see who wants to kind of talk about what they took from 2021. One more to go. Check this out.
Sunny day, right there you took my breath away. Young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day you called me up, you told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms. Well, I know what I feel, please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair and your beautiful smile. Your sense of humor makes it all worthwhile. Don't make me wait, it's not a funny game. You know just what I feel, please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover, a hopeless lover, hopeless lover. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, and I can't get enough, can't get enough, I can't get enough, I can't get enough. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover, hopeless lover, hopeless lover. And that's what I am. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish this girl were mine. And I can't get enough. Hopeless lover.
The last article has to do with Bigfoot. So there is a story about an individual that was out for a stroll one day, and all of a sudden he spots outside of Chandlerville, northwest of Springfield, what he described as a fast, athletic, and massive being covering a 2-lane road in 2 quick strides. That's pretty big. A 2-lane road, and you take 2 steps and you're done. You're through it. You're freaking humongous. You literally are gigantic. The individual, which is a 59-year-old engineer who actually lives near Peoria, he said that the thing had some long limbs and was covered in shiny black hair. He says he was gone before I could even register what the hell was happening in my mind, what I was seeing. He says it jumped into the darkness and I was kind of freaked out about it. I said to myself out loud, "Fuck Bigfoot." I actually had to say that because that's what he said, not because I want to continue to embellish and using the F word. The article itself is more of a reminder that, there's other things out there paranormal besides UFOs. And even though that UFOs have pretty much taken over everything, or UAPs, that Bigfoot is still a thing. And actually, Bigfoot had quite the year. Now, I know we remember talking about this article. We talked about Representative Justin Humphreys out of Oklahoma. They put a $3 million reward for anyone that could capture a living Bigfoot. As far as I know, as of today, I don't think anyone's brought Bigfoot in. But other things that have happened throughout 2021 was that there were a significant increase in Bigfoot conferences. Like, you thought UFO conferences were something, but Bigfoot has its own conference. I've seen images of some. I don't know. They're just not as exciting for me, I think. But still, these things are happening. Bigfoot is still out there. He needs to be found. The other thing was that there was that one documentary about an investigation about Bigfoot killing 3 California pot farmers. Your weed sucks when Bigfoot has to come out and kill you. I'm just saying, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad product you're selling there when the champion, the hide-and-seek champion, has to come out from hiding and take you out. I'm just saying. So Bigfoot this year has also made quite a splash when it comes to people interacting and wanting to know more and putting up some serious cash to get Bigfoot murked. But I mean, it is what it is. There is a thing out there. There is something, whether you call it Bigfoot, whether you call it a skunk ape, or whatever you want to call it. Bigfoot is still another unsolved mystery of significant proportions. I mean, when we look at the pictures that we've seen since that first grainy picture back in 1967, you look at what we see now, they're getting a little clearer, but for damn sake, we just have no idea what the hell Bigfoot is. And, the conspiracies between UFOs and Bigfoot, they do collide at one point, as many believe that UFOs dropped a Bigfoot here, and that he is a pet or a, how can I say, constructed creature that's alien made that gets left behind. For what? I don't know. Could you have a nice, 10-foot pet that you can kind of brush his hair once in a while and then send him off to do things? I think that'd be pretty cool. But if Bigfoot is killing weed farmers, there's a problem. There's a big problem somewhere. Someone spliced the wrong gene there. That's all I'm saying. The article is in the description. It's a lot more in there regarding, 2021 and Bigfoot. And it's a good read. I would give it a 2-shitter read if you want to. And the rest of the articles are also in here as well. So we're going to open up the lines here for, I believe, for folks to call in. Now, this is always quite cumbersome and it gets to be a technological nightmare. But I do have to put this number here because I see the NOM has been asking for the area code. So the number is 972-290-1329. If you are live and you want to call in and talk about your favorite story for 2021. Hopefully it's UFO related. Or close to, I guess. We'll see. But like I said, my favorite space story was, of course, Captain Kirk and his, I don't know, space orgasm, because that's what it sounded like. I mean, you can't beat that. You cannot beat that with a stick or anything else. But it's fantastic. So we'll have this open here. Apart from that, hopefully we'll run into 2022 with some good podcast episodes. a little bit more of the videos on YouTube. A bit more consistent, should I say. And also bringing back the Dark Horde podcast. So as we wait here, a few seconds, because I guess Norm is not seeing the chat for the number. If you want to call in, it is 972-290-1329. We'll see what happens. Other than that, I guess I could say this: in 2021, our psychic friends were not were not really reliable. I can say that much. So I think the Dark Horde psychic friends episodes may not happen in 2022. That's for sure. Because they should have seen ahead of time that they were not going to show up. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm the one who should have known. So while we wait for the norm, we'll go ahead and play one track. This will be the last track, giving them time to call in. And we'll see what happens. Check this out.
I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. Yeah. So lost, where do I go? I was in the chase, caught a flat on road. It was all love, X no O. I was feeling rich, but we turned out broke. Guess I let my feelings take control. Guess I let my demon take the wheel. Used to think that we be growing old. I can't believe that it was real. It was back in late December when I did it. I just wish I could forgive. Cause I hate how much I love it. Oh, I hate how I just love to catch a feel. Yeah. I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. If I find a way to get it, when I do it, I can live it and forget. Cause I hate how much I love you, or I hate how you just put me in my feelings.
Let's call the Nom, because he was trying to call during the song, but that usually doesn't work. And guess what? It did not go through. Go ahead if you want to call in, the Nom. Why wouldn't it go through? What the hell is going on? This is the technology they would deal with today. So, I guess he's not answering. Oh, and there he goes. Un momento, por favor. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the nom. Or not. This is why I hate taking phone calls.
Oh, thank God. Oh, my God.
It never works right.
No, never.
Never, ever. Norm, welcome to the final
Thank
episode.
you. Good God. About time.
Yeah.
This has been a long year.
It's a bit of a struggle, should I say, yeah. Yeah, it's been a crazy year, hasn't it?
It has. It's been a little bit open, but you know what? I mean, some people are making it through, you know? I mean, you've been able to go all year.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Yeah. Sadly enough.
I mean,
what was your...
Really gratitude, though.
Yeah. What was your... what's
story
your
of the
biggest
year?
deal? Yeah.
There's this guy named Mr. Hall, and he came out about, you know... I'd say about 8 years ago, but he broke in at the end of the year right now about this story about the tall whites out here in Nevada. He wasn't in Area 51. He was in other areas.
Okay.
And it broke my mind when I heard the story again, because I sat there and I listened to the Harry Reid stuff that you talk about and how he opened up all these avenues, and it kind of it like, you know, when you're drawing just circles in your board in class and you're just making little circles, it came back around to that. And Hall is opening up out of nowhere, and I'm sorry about that, but you know, this guy Hall is got my mind blown, because he's totally talking about, you know, basically everything's opened up. Charles Hall, he spent some time out there in Area 55, Area 54,
what the hell?
and says, yeah, I mean, there's more areas than just Area 51, apparently. So his job, apparently, was letting off these weather balloons out here in Nevada for, you know, nuclear testing. And as we have heard the story, but what he says is it was more for scout ships for these alien beings called the tall whites. And I'm like going, you know what? This is like going around in a circle, and I've heard that story before, but nobody caught on to it. And now it's kind of like reverting back, because we got all this new information about new technologies and things that we're testing. I mean, I'll give you the honest truth. We busted open with everything this year. I mean, the whole gambit is open, if you ask me. And guys like yourself, Tyler, and people who are still doing the due diligence in UFO communities are keeping that avenue open for, you know, us blue-collar guys, as you call us, you being one of them, of course, you know, have to follow, because we're not in the game. We're just kind of outskirts. But, you know, if it opens up what I hope is the truth, then so be it. You know what I mean? And you guys are like the avenues to that.
Yeah, so this guy, this Hall guy, so is he saying
Charles
that
Hall.
the balloons were like set up for guidance to guide them in?
Yep. Because, okay, here's some of the story without spoiling it. I want you guys to look this up on YouTube. This guy Charles Hall is amazing. If you put it all together, because like I said, when you're in class, you're just drawing circles. Everything comes around in a loop as long as it lasts long enough. So this guy said basically in the 60s, he worked out there. He used those air balloons for guidance for their scout ships. For these, it was almost like if you look at Harry Reid Airport today, they had one of those out in Area 54, Area 55. For these aliens, we shared technologies. It blew my mind, because I was like, okay, well, obviously, if there's nothing sitting in those Tic Tacs and they're just drones, then it's technology that obviously a human race would make, because we're kind of worried about our own health, you know.
Yeah, no, that makes
care
sense.
about each other. We don't want to put like a decent person in one of these ships and throw him around and hope he lives. So
I mean, why not? There's a few people I can put in there. But here, check this out. Why would this is the only thing that bothers me. I don't know the story. The first time I'm hearing about it. But why would alien scout ships need a balloon to guide them? That's kind of strange.
Well,
how dumb are they?
Well, this all boils down to their technology that they will not share with us. Okay, we share technologies, he says, Charles Hall. We share these technologies. However, they will not give us technologies that put them above them because they see us as a lower species. I mean, they really do. They have a higher standard. They've been around for years. Apparently, according to Charles Hall, these people live to be over 700 years. But they die hard because the older they get, the taller they get. That's why they're called the tall whites. And everything in their bone structures grow as they get older, but their organs do not grow. And that's how eventually they die this hard death. I mean, basically, imagine that. You just keep growing and growing. We've had, giants here. It makes sense. But however, the reason they use that is because the technology in their ships have to do with the gravitational pull of the Earth, because they come here often, and they have to use the moon, our satellite moon, as more of a system that helps their ships leave and come. And come and go, basically, and so I don't want to spoil the whole deal here because it goes deep. For some reason, and I'll share it on our Discord, obviously, the video that I found about this. But it all happening out here in the West, and then you guys with Elon Musk getting shut down. This kind of like adds up. It adds up to the conspiracy still. To this very day, that we won't let this information go by all means. Even though they're holding on by their fingertips, literally.
Yeah, that's just wild to me, to be honest. Now I've heard stories about the real reason for HARP is to kind of hide ships coming in and out using the weather, which I could see that, right? But balloons, that's a tough one for me.
You got to think about where you're at. Unless you had an audience of several 100 million or 1,000 at that point of the actual incidents that's happening, then you're not going to get very many people on board to believe that. However, the truth is out there, right? Several people who apparently have high clearances and the history in paper to back all that up, their words, when they have that paper history, that's what really counts, man. And we're going back to 1960s, and that paperwork doesn't go away. It's already on the internet, and people like to dispute it, or they can't, basically, so they make something up. Something fantastic, it's just our scientists trying to grow things on Mars, or, in the Mars atmosphere. When everybody knows that all those space stations that are surrounding Earth right now, we couldn't have those without alien technologies. We couldn't do all that stuff right now. There's no way. Elon Musk with his satellites and things, them shutting him down is priority if they want to keep this thing secret. So I'm with Elon. I think he should just keep putting things out there and let the pictures lay where they may.
See what happens. Well, hey, listen, the whole story sounds interesting, so I'll have to
the Webb
check
telescope is probably the candle on everything right now. It's going to see into the past so far.
Oh, James Webb.
Yeah. That's probably the icing on the cake right there. And people, so many different people already have, access to time with that satellite when it opens up in 6 months. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the pretty pictures, but that's about it.
Yeah. No, they didn't. Yeah, but here's the thing. It also comes with mathematical information,
like great wallpaper. for my desktop.
Yeah, you can't escape old wallpaper. You know, you're always going to look at it, fascinated.
Exactly.
Like Dark Horde episodes, when you go into ghosting, you know, ghosts and stuff, they like to live amongst old items. You know, so the older the better, right?
Yeah, you know, for the regular guy, this several $billion telescope isn't going to mean a whole lot of dick. But we'll see. We'll see.
I think it's going to find. I think it's going to find evidence of us, like us, people out there everywhere. I think that's its ultimate capability, and my hope is that it will actually register water, air, oxygen. Oh, hey, a radio signal. You know, it's going to see things from. But the problem is that's going to take years to you know, do all the math and calculate all those sciences. So I'm looking forward to what hopefully is, you know, what science is all about is truth. So, you know, the truth being the science, which I'm glad you look into all the time. You know, that's mostly the stories I am, you know, impressed by are the ones that have science backing it.
Yeah, and you know, by the way, they initially said, this is what I love about NASA, how they under-promise and over-deliver, because they said initially it's a 5-year mission because the damn thing probably won't have enough fuel to be up there that long. And today, they already said it's going to be 10 years.
I'm guessing 15 to 30 then.
But there you go.
Why not?
Under-promise, over-deliver. I'm going to do that every day of my life. That's how I'm going to do it.
China's rover on the dark side of the moon, we still got China's rover, and it's still kicking. We don't get much information out of them because of the troubles politically, but the science behind it is always truth. So, you know, those things are going to be shared. I can't wait to see what they got. Man.
Yeah, you know,
There's
it sounds like
you're
going to get less and less from China as things move forward.
Well, I hope not. I mean, we're destined for a change. I mean, we've been through so much negativity in the last 5 to 10 years. So there's always a pendulum. And that's the one thing I love about some of the things about these tall whites. They lived on a pendulum, you know.
Wait a minute, they lived on the pendulum? What kind of ship is that?
In a lifespan.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, they sound like they're terribly fucked. I mean, really. If getting taller is the end of your life, that sucks.
They have a brutal way of things, but it's natural to them. And apparently, they've been around long enough to learn that life is just a blink. I don't know why. And our religions, you know, obviously, you know, have tried to attest to that fact and all of those things. But apparently, according to Charles Hall, these tall whites have like a blink of the eye of lifespan. Like, you don't matter, and if you do go across this boundary, then you're over and you reset. That was their belief, and I think they're older than us, apparently, especially because of our solar system being, you know, mathematically calculated as how old we are, and everything outside of us is way older.
But this is why they should blow up the whites, the tall whites.
Well, yeah. Well, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but fortunately, they've elevated beyond. It's hard to explain. The video on YouTube that I'll share on Discord, guys, come follow it, check it out. Discord, Manny, the Tempest Universe. You guys check it out for sure.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, I gotta check that out. But you know, again, it sounds like that we have like government people basically, you know, giving up the booty for technology. And these guys sound like they're assholes.
Yeah, well, according to Charles, some of the scout ships were decked out with basic American RV equipment.
What?
There was a trade going on at the time in the 60s. Remember, these guys would like be here all the time, but their stuff would break down. They have an energy source that has a lifespan, and when the lifespan exhausts, they have to find other energy from us because they're here. And so this was a repetitive thing, according to him. And we had to make bases for them out here.
Wait,
and they would share,
is what's his name? This Hall guy, is he saying
Charles,
that the Tallwise
I think
are
Charles.
stranded?
No, well, you know what? And that was what I was listening. He did say they had motherships, and he did say they could travel faster than the speed of light. So,
But they're using RV parts. What the fuck is going on?
they're using Earth, planet Earth, apparently, and it kind of makes sense. Apparently, it's just a pit stop to other things, other places, maybe.
Fascinating.
And it's like okay, so if I'm driving from here to Texas, there's going to be pit stops on those highways, and I'm going to stop in and I'm going to take a pee. I'm going to look around the place. I'm going to enjoy the setting of the desert, or the hills, or the mountains, or the snow, or whatever it is. And eventually I'm going to get to my destination, but I got to stop there first because I'm depleted.
No, it makes
And
sense.
apparently-
but you're not going to pick up an
apparently
armadillo and stick him under your hood as an engine.
Well, apparently they will, and they have. I mean, now we're getting into the Dark Horde stuff where people end up missing, and it could be because of them.
Jeez Louise.
So, and those stories are aplenty around America around the world for a millennia at least. I mean, come on. I mean, apparently, according to ancient aliens, even these things have been happening for since maybe even dinosaurs. Who knows?
Yeah, there's quite the mystery there. It's been going on for eons.
And I guess my whole point is it all bleeds into next year, guys. Look, 2020, 2021, 2022. Hello, come here, baby. Give me a hug. I mean, let's go on. Let's move on. All the things that everybody's doing right now equals just humanity, man. Let's just be humans. Let's start being, real about things and getting shit in order. And don't worry about saying the word fuck. I love the word fuck. Fuck, fuckity, fuck. And I love the fuck out of you. And thank you for doing what you do.
We just lost China.
And I want to say hi to Green Man. I want to say hi to Dre, Game Vet. I want to say hi to everybody, all my Ask Audience guys. Thank you. Bugs, I love you, puppy. Wake up.
Yeah. Oh, he's in a full dream right now.
I usually talk everybody to sleep, but thank you for listening.
Thank you, Norm, for calling in. And have a happy New Year. And I hope
Happy New
2022
Year
brings
to
a lot
you.
of great stuff to you.
It shall, and I hope it brings everything to everybody. I mean, really, this has just been. We're still here, so let's keep going.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling in. There you go. That was Danam calling in. It looks like the other guys probably will not be making a phone call because there's not too many that are on live. Actually, I wasn't supposed to have any live episodes towards the end of the year. But that's the way it goes. And I just want to say, hope everyone has a fantastic and happy new year. And that 2022 goes a lot better. Hopefully Omicron will go away and we don't have any Decepticon or Autobot COVID-19 things coming out. Or for that matter, any Godzilla ones. Godzilla. But with that said, until next year, ciao.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for days of old lang syne. And here's a hand, my trusty friend, and here's a hand of thine. for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear. For old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet. For old lang syne. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear. For old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet. For old lang syne. For old lang syne.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.